Hi, in this video we are going to learn how to count in the Hewrami dialect of the Kurdish language. So in this video we will focus on the Hewrami dialect of Kurdish. Each number will be shown in the Kurdish Latin alphabet. At the time of making this video, in the year 2023, we see multiple writing systems being used to write in Kurdish. The Kurdish Latin alphabet, however, is currently used in the Kurmanji and Zazaki dialects of Kurdish. Meanwhile, it is being used more and more in the other dialects too. At the time of making this video, we see a limited number of resources to teach the Hewrami dialect of Kurdish. So we see that teaching numbers in Kurdish Hewrami is one of the many effective ways of increasing awareness of this dialect. Many of the numbers in this video may be pronounced differently by many people, depending on the regional accents that they speak. However, the true standardized version of each number will be shown. So, let's start. 0. Heech. 1. Yuwa. 2. Duer. 3. Yere. 4. Chwar. 5. Panj. 6. Shish. 7. Helt. 8. Hesht. 9. Nor. 10. De. So, let's review the numbers that we've looked at. You may pause the video here and see how many you can remember. Welcome back. The numbers from 0 to 10 are Heech, Yuwa, Duer, Yere, Chwar, Panj, Shish, Helt, Hesht, Nor, De. The numbers from 11 to 19 are quite simple. Each of these numbers have the number 10, De, as the suffix, so at the end of a word. For example, the number 11 would have Yans, representing Yuwa, the number 1, followed by the suffix De. So, 11 would be Yansde. 12. Duansde. 13. Sensde. 14. Chwarde. 15. Pansde. 16. Shansde. 17. Hewde. 18. Hejde. 19. Nozde. 20. Weest. So, let's review these numbers. You may pause the video here and see how many you can remember. Welcome back. So the numbers from 11 to 20 are Yansde, Duansde, Sensde, Chwarde, Pansde, Shansde, Hewde, Hejde, Nozde, Weest. The number 21 in Kurdish can be translated to English exactly as 20 and 1. The letter U, on its own, translates to and in English, and every number between 20 and 100, except for multiples of 10, follow this simple rule. This means that you would only need to memorize the numbers 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on. So 21 would be Wistu Yuwa, Wist U Yuwa, Wistu Yuwa. 22. Wistu Duer, 23. Wistu yere. Wistu yere. 24. Wistu chwar. Wistu chwar. 25. Wistu penj. Wistu penj. 26. Wistu shish. Wistu shish. 27. Wistu helt. Wistu helt. 28. Wistu hesht. Wistu hesht. 29. Wistu nor. Wistu nor. 30. Si. Si. So now we know that if we wanted to say 31, we would say si yuwa, and if we wanted to say 32, we would say si duir. So now we will count up in tens. 40. Chill. Chill. 50. Penja. Penja. 60. Shest. Shest. 70. Hefta. Hefta. 80. Heshta. Heshta. 90. Nawed. Nawed. 100. Said. Said. We will now review the multiples of 10, starting with 10 and going up to 100. Before we check our answers, you may pause the video here. Welcome back. The multiples of 10, starting with 10 and going up to 100 are de, weest, si, chill, penja, shest, hefta, heshta, nawed, said. So let's practice with some examples. What would the number 45 be in Kurdish? You may pause the video here. Great. So the number 45 would be chilupenj, chill, 40, u, and, penj, 5, chilupenj. So what would 71 be in Kurdish? You may pause and attempt this question. "71" would be hefta yuwa, hefta, 70, u, and, yuwa, 1, hefta yuwa. Here is our final example. What is 98 in Kurdish? You may pause here. 98 would be Nawed u Hesht. Nawed, 90, U, and, Hesht, 8. Nawed u Hesht. Now that we have practiced numbers into 100, and we know that 100 is said, let's look at multiples of 100. 200. So the number 200 would be Duer said. Duer said. And this can be translated exactly into English as 200. Duer said. This simple rule applies to each multiple of 100. So 300 would be Yere said. Yere said. 400. Chwar said. Chwar said. 500. Penj said. Penj said. 600. Shish said. Shish said. 700. Helt said. Helt said. 800. Hesht said. Hesht said. 900. Nor said. Nor said. 1000. Hazar. Hazar. So the same rule that we applied for every multiple of 100 also applies for every multiple of 1,000. So for example, 10,000 would be de hazar. De hazar. 100,000. Said hazar. Said hazar. We will now review the multiples of 100 and then the multiples of 1,000. Before we check our answers, you may pause the video here. The multiples of 100, starting from 100 and ending with 1,000, are sed, due sed, yere sed, chwar sed, penj sed, shish sed, eut sed, hesht sed, no sed, hezar. As multiples of 1,000 follow the same rule as multiples of 100, 2,000 would be due hezar, and 3,000 would be yere hezar, and so on. So 10,000 would be de hezar, and 100,000 would be sed hezar. We will end the lesson with 3 examples that are more tricky. Take some time to apply the rules that you have learned when forming these numbers, and I am sure that these will soon become simple for you. Let's start with the number 985. Great! 985 would be Norsed u heshtau penj. Norsed, 900, u and heshta u penj, 80 and 5, 85. Norsed u heshtau penj. Let's attempt this example now, 6017. This number would be 6017. 6000, 6,000, u and hewde, 17. 6017. Our final example will be a much larger number, 100,234. You may pause the video here. Excellent. This number would be sed hazaru due sedu siu chwar. Sed hazar, 100,000, u and due sed, 200, u and siu chwar, 34. Sed hazaru due sedu siu chwar. Thank you for watching this video on how to count in the Hewrami dialect of the Kurdish language. We will see you again soon.